Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the Tarot forecast for Leo for the month of October, including late September 2025. So, the newest thing to do now apparently is I've been sort of alerted to the fact that one must sort of ask listeners to like and subscribe. It's free and it helps to grow the channel, which I am interested in doing, of course, because it shows that things are probably on the right path. So we are in the zodiac sign of Libra, so the element being air, so lots of communication, lots of sort of what would you call it, like extrovert behaviour sort of thing, lots of outgoing things, ideas, communication. And funnily enough, you are in your third house of communication, learning, siblings, neighbours, all these sort of things that sort of link up to communication. Especially with neighbours and siblings, things can get a bit sometimes with those different sets of people in our environment. Okay, energy around, and we have the Queen of Wands, your fire queen, lovely, being very sort of outspoken, creative, saying what you think, straight shooter she is, sometimes to the horror of other people that think, oh my God, you know what, she's so blunt. But sometimes it's the only way to be when you need to get things done. So if you're a leader or a boss or in a position where you have to sort of rally the troops regularly, the Queen of Wands is your girl, because she will just say what needs to be said. And sometimes, as I said, she can be blunt, but sometimes one has to do this. And especially with communication, being in your third house of communication. So she is exactly who you need to sort of harness her energies, and she belongs to you because you're Leos and you're fire. Okay, so let's see where you are right now, dear Leo. And we have the King of Wands, so leadership once again, Wands once again. So we've got Queen of Wands, so we've got court cards, so we've got you yourself being that queen, being sort of very forthright about things. And then we have the male energy of the King of Wands, who sort of travels a lot, moves around a lot. He's very much about, he's a, what would you call him? I call him the travelling king, because he's often that kind of person. He flies in, he flies out. He's sort of, he's just very quite dynamic, and in terms of leadership, and can come across as being a bit sort of arrogant, really. But you know, sometimes we need people like that just to sort of give that creative spark a bit of a boot. So there he's coming in for communication, so that energy. So you've got double Queen and King of Wands straight up, Leo. So it's a pretty good start for the third house of communication, especially with being in Libra as well, which is all about communicating. Okay, let's see the influencing card. We have the Fool. So the Fool is beginning a brand new journey. Off we go. New beginnings, new everything. So just jump off that cliff. One never knows at the beginning of a journey how it's going to end up, what it's going to be like. But the most important thing is it's full of wonder. It's full of all sorts of different emotions coming through too, like different ups and downs and everything. But that's how the life goes. But yeah, definitely new beginnings coming through here for you. Major cards, so major energy of beginning a new journey for whatever that may sort of mean to you personally, Leo. Actually it belongs to Aquarius too, the sign of Aquarius. And the Aquarians are they're your opposite, polar opposite sign. So they're very sort of out there types. They're sort of explorers, and they'll push the envelope. They'll break down the boundaries. They're very sort of out there type of people. They're not your run-of-the-mill type. So that's a really nice card to get. let's have a look at what was going on in August, September, so the Virgo time, and still holds weight today. And we have the Chariot, so journeys were undertaken. Very interesting emotional discipline too with this Cancerian big card again. So very much a journey has been had or still ongoing, but it's all about what the journey's about. It's not the destination, it's the travel, isn't it? And this guy is, you know, reining in these two horses on this journey, which is no mean feat, I'm sure, a black and a white one. And so it's about alignment, it's about emotional discipline, and because it sits above your Fool here, another major arcana, it sort of says, yeah, all right, off you go, you know, now you're ready for the next installment. But it's big because it's a major arcana, so that we always know they're the signpost cards that tell us that new things are definitely on the way. Okay, recent influences. Seven of Cups, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. So it's a bit of an illusionist card, a card of illusion, where everything thinks, oh, it's going to be great and it's going to be fantastic, but then life gets in the way and thinks, oh, well, no, it was just like every other time, you know, there was ups and there was downs and there was tears and there was laughter, there was every sort of emotion spilling out of the cup that you can imagine. But yeah, we often do sort of fantasize, I suppose, that everything is going to be perfect in inverted commas, but life unfortunately isn't like that, because it'll throw you curveballs. The minute you start thinking everything is going to be smooth sailing, the curveballs come raining in from every direction. So that's that rose-coloured glasses sort of energy of the Seven of Cups, which we sometimes, you know, I mean, of course we all would wish everything to be in alignment, but rarely it is. We've got to work at the alignment. We can have two of the seven, but we can't have the whole seven at once. So it's a really nice card to sort of bring us back to that sort of reality of, oh yes, there were things that happened, but you know what? Some great things happened, some not so great things happened. I didn't get the whole lot what I wanted, but I got some of it, and it was important. So I love that card for that. It brings us back down to a sort of more realistic way of living and managing our emotions, really, because it's a Cups card. Okay, the lesson you're learning, the Tower. Here it comes. Get rid of the Tower. The Tower is burning down. Time to just bulldoze it to smithereens and build something new. So it's the use by date card. Another major card as well. You've got some pretty great major cards here, Leo. So something here is just past its use by date. It usually talks about a structure, so it's more a structural change. The Tower is just like a symbol of a structure that's sort of not really working anymore. So we know what to do with it. We just have to sort of blast it to smithereens and start again. So that's the Tower. And the Tower belongs to also, I think it's Mars, the planet Mars, which is the planet of aggression and fire and all these sort of war and things that just get obliterated, but then out of all that we build something brand new. So big changes coming through. Just embrace them, Leo, because it's good. And it's just, remember, it's a structure that is no longer working for you at this time, whatever that may be. Okay, so let's now see near future and see what's going to happen. And we have Four of Wands, consolidation, home, family, all that sort of things are solid here with the Four of Wands. It's very much, it sort of talks about, it's a four, like it's like a box with four sides, so it's very contained and it's very sort of you've worked towards this, so things are good with this, and it's going to progress further. As we know, it does, but it's time for you to just go, yeah, okay, yeah, home, and it's great to be home. It's great to sort of have this consolidation of what I'm working towards. I know that I'm on the right track kind of energy. So that's nice. Let's see what's happening that you're not realising. And we have the Page of Cups. So there's a bit of a spark here of emotional messages or emotional beginnings coming in. He's like a little seedling that we have to feed and water to grow some type of emotional relationship with somebody, or start again in an emotional relationship with a friend or a partner or whoever it may be in your sphere. You know, there's many variables obviously, but this is an encouraging sign to just say, yeah, well, just feed and grow it. It will grow. It'll go from a seedling to a really strong, sturdy tree, and you know, it will. You will be better off for it. So it's just like a little message coming through. Is like, you know, start again too. Like start that relationship fire up again. Feed and grow it. Can be somebody too that you just sort of click with, a new relationship coming in, and it's quite exciting, and it can be platonic, it can be romantic, but it's once again Libra, communication. How others see you. Four of Cups. You know, a bit sort of flat, bit of an adrenaline dump, probably, you know, emotionally quite flat. But this happens, especially when we've been high as a kite, enjoying, celebrating, and then suddenly it sort of finishes and you think, oh my God, you know, I'm really, that's a bummer, it's finished. But the the answer to the Four of Cups is just to be grateful for all the things that you do have, your house, your family, your new beginnings. You're getting rid of outdated stuff or outdated structures. You've been travelling, you've been moving through, even if you haven't been travelling physically, you've been travelling and emotionally disciplining yourself. That's how others see you, and that's okay. It's just a moment in time. But it's nice to know, oh yeah, I do feel a bit like that, but yeah, okay, but it'll probably be better in 2 days or so. Okay, nice card. Positive feelings, and we have the 9. So the 9 of Wands. So yeah, a little bit sort of nearly there to wherever it is you're going. It's a completion card. It's a card of just a lot of energy being spent too here. So probably you're just like, oh my God, will I get over this line? Yes, you will. It just takes that little bit of adrenaline boost, once again, good old adrenaline, to just get you over the line. It's like the marathon, the last K of the marathon type of energy. But yeah, you're getting to where you need to go overall, and it's a pretty interesting reading. You've got 1, 2, 3 big cards sitting there showing you signposts to what has to happen and how you're going to do it. And you may be a bit sort of worn out about it, or just sort of at the point where you're thinking, oh, when's this going to end? And it will end soon, and you will get over the line. So that's, and you feel positive about that, Leo, because you know that's how things work. We always get over the line. The outcome. And then we have the spiritual learning card of the 3 of Pentacles. So the teacher and the student, which one are you? Are you the teacher or the student? It's a very high, even though it is a minor arcana card, it's a 3, so it talks about 3 people or a group, but it does talk about that reciprocal. Have you been learning from someone, or have you been teaching someone? How is that spiritual learning going for you? And it will come into play as we move into the sign of Scorpio, the 3rd week of October, where we just sort of, all of this will just, I guess, come together, and you'll just go, oh yeah, that was a really interesting spiritual learning exercise for me. It was tough. I didn't think I'd get there, but I learned a lot, and now I'm on a new path. So it's all positive. I'm just going to pop a clarifier on that tower. Now let's see what's under the surface of this structure that's out of date. The Swan, your intuition, your transformation, and really learning how to trust your psychic gifts. And the Swan, as we know, she's a very beautiful creature, but she sort of evolves from an ugly duckling into this absolutely gorgeous, elegant swan. So you're in the midst of great spiritual change at the moment. The way you perceive things, the way you look at others, it's been a real emotional journey, I would imagine, and especially with the Swan here. Now, interesting, the Swan correlates to the High Priestess, so it's almost like the mists of our physical reality here and our spiritual reality of our soul. They sort of become really close, like the soul or the spirit world becomes so close that you can really see things or understand things on a much deeper level because of all this that's happened, because of this outdated structure, and really trusting that sort of feeling. People say, oh, it just popped into my head, but usually it's like a message or an omen, but it's actually a transformation to the Swan. So it's a really beautiful card, and it's about sort of really using that, the unseen world too, and the unseen, all that unseen, to sort of really sort of trust in that, because it does give great results. Thank you so much for listening, Leo, and don't forget to like and subscribe.